Well, thank you, Texas Baptist, for such a great day. A couple of days, really. We are so grateful that you've been faithful to attend and be supportive of everything. I'm going to take a few minutes here and just give you an update on a couple of things, and I'm honored to do so. You know, I've got 15 minutes here to give my update and take up an offering. So, I learned early on in the ministry that if anything's cut, it's not the offering. So I'll be careful about that, and I'll tell you in a few minutes the ministry to which we would ask you to contribute tonight. But I want to give you just a quick update on just two or three things, and I want to say, first of all, it was 11 months ago that our state was just dramatically, historically impacted with a disaster. Everybody here, particularly those who are from South and Southeast Texas, know very well the devastation caused by Hurricane Harvey. So we're all aware of how dramatic that storm affected our state. I want you to know how dramatic our Texas Baptist response has been to that. From day one, our wonderful friends and our fantastic partners with Texas Baptist Men were on the scene. And they have stayed on the scene for days and weeks and months. So I wanted to begin tonight with a word of thank you to our friends and our partners at Texas Baptist Men for their ministry. Would you join me in saying thank you to them? Many churches were impacted by that storm. Wind damage, water damage. Many of our churches from Corpus Christi all the way to the Texas-Louisiana border. And many of our church members' homes and many of our pastors were affected by that hurricane. So we have responded in all kinds of ways through Texas Baptist Men. We have also responded financially through the faithful and generous contributions of so many of you and so many of your churches. We have been able to walk alongside more than 100 churches already with providing financial assistance to their recovery and their rebuilding efforts. So this is my chance to say to you, thank you, Texas Baptist, for your faithful generosity. We are grateful. And in the midst of all of that, it's been especially heartwarming to take the hands of pastors in affected parts of the state and staff members who have given so much of themselves to minister to the people in their churches and provide them with a check and a check and a check and say, thank you, we're here to help you. Texas Baptist, you are the best. Thank you so much. Now it's my chance to say thank you. One of the things we have begun about 4 years ago, it's in the realm of disaster relief, disaster response, and disaster recovery. But we've got this great work going, and has been going for over 50 years with Texas Baptist Men. But who's going to do that work next? And who's going to raise up the next generation of men and women who will walk alongside communities and families and churches when these kinds of events unfold? Well, I'll tell you who's going to raise up that next generation. You and me, Texas Baptist. And we are doing that right now already through a ministry we started about 4 years ago called Bounce. Now, a number of you have been involved and engaged with Bounce already, but I want to just share with you the difference that program is making. Bounce stands for Helping Communities Bounce Back from Disaster, and it is a student-led disaster recovery ministry of the Baptist General Convention of Texas. If you're not engaged or involved or even informed about Bounce yet, I hope that you will be, and I hope that you will be sooner than later. One quick story. I was in Dickinson, Texas, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I go into Dickinson, Texas, and I pull up to a home, and it is a home in great disrepair, but as I walk up to that home, there's a 90-year-old African-American widow who lives there, and on her roof are 15 high school students from Brownfield, Texas, from Olney, Texas, from San Antonio, Texas, and from Kyle, Texas, and with supervision, they are putting her a new roof on the house. She's overwhelmed. But it's not just what happens to the people whose homes these students minister to. It's what happens to the neighbors who walk by and ask 2 questions. What are you doing? And why are you doing this? Why are you, as a high school student, giving up a week of your summer to come down here where it's hot and humid to put a roof on this lady's house? And you know what the answer to that is? It's the great commandment at work. We love God and we love others. And we're here to tell you how we love Jesus by putting this roof on your house. Texas Baptist, I just want you to know that's happening. Over 1,000 students this summer have been taking up 5 weeks doing that kind of disaster relief work in South and Southeast Texas. Thank you, Texas Baptist. You are making a difference. Thank you. If you're not familiar with Bounce, David Scott would be happy to tell you all about it. But bring a bottle of water and maybe a sandwich. It might take a minute. I want to tell you about something else that we do, that you have a chance to do. So, you know, we're all about the Great Commission. Disciple making is who we are. That's our call. That's our DNA. We're in the disciple-making business. We tell people about Jesus, and once they come to faith in Christ, we want to see that they are raised up into a mature faith in Christ, and we want to see people come to know Jesus all across Texas and beyond. So, about 18 months ago, we established a partnership with some wonderful friends in Brazil. Now, you know, for decades, Texas Baptists and Brazilian Baptists have been friends, they've been partners, they've been working together in ministry. But about 18 months ago, we established a formal partnership with the Baptist Convention of Brazil. And the whole purpose behind that was to support and send indigenous Brazilian missionaries to the Amazon to take the good news of Jesus Christ and to start churches. So 18 months later, and by the way, I think we have some Brazilian Baptists with us tonight. Are they here? If you are one of the Brazilian Baptists, they're right back here. Fernando, stand up, please. Welcome. At Fernando's invitation 18 months ago, I had a chance to speak to the Brazilian Baptist Convention. And we started this MAP program. It stands for Missionary Adoption Program. Today, Texas Baptist, and Fernando told me just a little while ago, we have 50 Texas Baptist Brazilians serving on the Amazon, taking the good news of Jesus Christ. We're making a difference. The way the partnership works is a church here in Texas partners with the Brazilian convention, and collectively those two support a missionary in Amazonia, and they are making a wonderful impact for the gospel. Your church can do that, and if you want to be a part, and it's not much. It's not much money at all, and you can have your own Texas Baptist missionary on the Amazon. Jair Campos, who works with us, would be honored to talk with you about that, and he'll be anxious to do so. Or find Fernando. He can talk to you about it and would be thrilled. All that to say, other partnerships have developed since that, all along this missionary adoption program, and all about supporting the indigenous missionary. And those partnerships are in other places, and I can't remember all of them, but Myanmar and Portugal and India and other places. But just know these partnerships. Now, I say that to tell you, I have nothing against the old way that we have for decades as Baptists done international missions. Nothing at all. But in order to reach the world for Jesus Christ, it will take more than the old way. It will take this new way, and it will take the next way. And I'm just saying, Texas Baptists, we are out there on the cutting edge of doing mission work here in our Jerusalems, here in our Judea, Samaria, and the rest of the world. The missionary adoption program is a new way of doing missions, and I'm excited about that. And I just think we as a convention are leading the way with that. So I want you to know, to be involved in that. I say those two things to say to you, we are not a stale and stagnant convention. We are a convention who's on the cutting edge of doing ministry and mission work and sharing the gospel, and I'm excited to be a part of it, and I thank you for that opportunity. Now I have a request of you. Texas is more lost than it's ever been before. And here we are today. This is July the 30th, 2018. In our state today, we have about 28 million people who call Texas home. 55% of that 28 million would say that on some level or to some degree they belong to some religion. But you turn that coin over, and what does it say? It says that 45% of everyone who calls Texas home today, spiritually speaking, doesn't believe in anything or anyone. So our work's cut out for us. But just as great as those obstacles may be, we have equal opportunity. So coming up in just a few days and just a few weeks, you'll have an opportunity in your church to receive an offering. Now, we have always called it the Mary Hill Davis Offering for State Missions, and we still do. So I'm here tonight to ask you as a church, as my fellow Texas Baptist, would you go back to your church and this year, 2018, try to receive the largest Mary Hill Davis offering your church has ever received, or at least the largest Mary Hill Davis offering for state missions you've received in a long time, or at least double what you did last year, or at least increase what you did last year, or you've never given to it or haven't given to it in a long time. Can we not come together for that purpose of that offering, meet all of those ministry, all of those mission needs, and continue to make a difference in our state? I am here tonight to appeal to you on behalf of Texas WMU and the Mary Hill State Mission Offering to ask you and to ask your church to be faithful and to be generous. Please do that for us. Thank you.